I mean,
100%.
it's, you know,
results,
it might not be pretty, but if you get the results, then does it matter, Chuck?
No, not in this type of tournament, in this type of competition. Same thing in the World Cup. If you tell me you get to a semifinals and you're playing ugly, you're in the semifinals. No one's going to care what it looks like.
Tell that to Boca that made the Copa Libertadores final, winning in PKs every single round.
So I think from that standpoint, England, they controlled possession, but weren't really that dangerous in the first half. And I thought, okay, Switzerland are just the defending, and they were super organized, couldn't break it down. And the only way that England were generating some chances were through Bukayo Saka and that right wing back spot, giving Abisher, the left wing back, trouble all match, but nothing really came from it. And then eventually he made that goal, the equalizer, look so easy. Like he could have done it 10 times out of 10 times in that match. But beside the point, I think Gareth Southgate was, like you said, super pragmatic, even with the substitutions.
Yeah.
But in the end, the penalties, I thought, okay, they're going to overcome it. They're not going to go down. And I loved Ivan Toney's penalty, the way he just, the entire time, did not look at the ball once and just put it in.
I thought he was going to miss,
Stone
too.
cold.
I was like, oh, this is too confident. He's going to, like, boot this one over. And, boy, did he prove me wrong.
There's a thing about winning, no matter what cost, that I guess gives a lot of confidence to this group. The thing is that soccer isn't about merit. Football is not about merit. If it were about merit, we'd have completely different results on the board, different winners in World Cups. This team has, I don't think, deserved footballing-wise to be in a semifinal, but hey, they're there, right? That's at the end of the day what's most important.
I mean, you could say that about France.
Right. You could say that about every damn team.
Netherlands too, I don't think overall.
In Champions
France,
League every year.
Spain is probably the only
Short of
team of
Spain,
the four
right?
remaining,
they're the only
that have
team
been
that you're-
convincing.
Yeah.
Like, look, they're the only unblemished team with their, what is it, 5 wins now?
What, for Spain?
They've been
The only one.
They've kept their style the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Look, but again, it's about winning. And Gareth Southgate, the one thing that's been on his resume with these players, he hasn't won anything. So he's in this thing. He's like, that's it. I'm here to win. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if we have to go to penalty kicks. This is how we're going to do it.
What do you think of Netherlands? How have you? It feels like we talked last week a little bit about them sort of playing themselves into this tournament. Have you seen their level raise, Charlie?
I could tell you one thing that you got to be happy about is Cody Gakpo.
Hell yeah.
He's been their best attacking player by far. His movement, we've been accustomed to seeing Memphis Depay be the kind of game changer in the box in the final third for the Netherlands. It's been all Cody Gakpo. In the way that he's moved, he's been brilliant in these Euros for the Netherlands. So I think you got to be extremely happy with his production, given that he's going to come back to Liverpool and start to perform like that.
But I'm not convinced overall yet by the Netherlands. I don't think their trajectory is.
Where's their weak? If you're looking at them, the weakness for the Netherlands, midfield.
But they get beat on defense too. Turkey made Van Dijk not look like Van Dijk. They were porous. Turkey created a lot of chances, and by the way, props to our dark horse of the last 8, Turkey, who had a completely honorable and valiant Euros, and at times he looked better than the Netherlands from an energy, from a conviction standpoint. It looked like Turkey wanted it more, and then Netherlands got back into the game. They turned it around, and it looked like then it was going to be easy cruising, but the last 20 minutes or last 10 minutes were shaky. There could have been Turkeys to tie again, so every game is going to be tough. But still, for the Netherlands, save that Romania 3-0, it doesn't feel like we're wholeheartedly moving in an in-crescendo fashion. But there's only one team that's doing that, really, and that's Spain. So you look at this draw, if you're England and you're Netherlands, it's like, all right, we're not outmatched here. For either team is looking at the opposition saying, this is a game that any of us can take. There's no underdog. I don't think there's a spot-on favorite. England, I think, because everyone's talking about England. The world and the bookies like to talk about England and the players they have and the experience, but this is anybody's game. 50-50 for me.
For sure. All right, let's move it along to the other semifinal. Spain taking on France. I think if we had seen this matchup at the beginning of the competition, we would have said that France were the favorites. But based on the way that they've been playing, based on the way that Spain have been playing, it feels very much like Spain has the edge in this matchup, Charlie.
They do. And in the attacking phase of the game, what Spain has been able to do with both Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, giving them pace, they can hurt you so easily in transition on the counter, but also when they have to break you down, 1v1 ability, they cause so much problems because they always beat the first guy. Now the second guy has to come out of position, and you love what you've seen from them in terms of the midfield, Rodri holding it down with Fabian Ruiz, who's playing the best I've ever seen him play, because he didn't play like that for PSG in Champions League, I can tell you that. So I really like the Spain team, the way that they played, and no team in Euro's history, finals history, has ever won 6 matches. They're about to do it.
Interesting stat.
When can I poke a hole in that stat? Before you only needed to win 5 games. Since after the 92 one that Denmark won, you only needed 5 games to win. It's a smaller sample size, but I get what you're saying.
And we're waiting for France, right? We're just kind of waiting for France to come to the party, and again, they're in the semifinals.
Do you think we'll see them, Tony?
I'm going to say no this time because I've said yes for the last 3 matches. Like, France is going to show up, and they're just so good individually that they can break you down with one play. And it's been, 1 goal from a penalty kick and then 2 own goals, right, in the competition for them, and then winning penalty kicks. And, yeah, Suze, I'd like to think that the answer is yes, but we haven't seen signs to show us. I wonder how a Spanish side who's not going to pack it in, who's going to open the game up, how that changes what France is able to do on the field. I don't know. We just haven't seen it from Deschamps' side.
How concerned are you about Mbappe? He had to come out against that match against Portugal. Took a little bit of a knock. I mean, how much has his injury affected him?
I think it's really affected him.
Yeah.
And he's trying his best to play through it, but it's not only wearing a mask, it's the nose, it's the pressure, it's the fear of getting it hit again, and you're constantly going up against players who know that this is your weakness, that you're thinking about it. It's a difficult proposition for any player, let alone the one player that can hurt any team in the world.
How do you not, like, the first thing, if I'm a center back, that's just like candy for a baby.
That's what Chiellini said on live TV.
If I'm the Normand, if I'm the Normand, first thing I'm doing is boom. First, did you see? Well, we'll talk about it next segment. But Ronald Araujo to Endrick.
Yeah.
I would do that to Mbappe. The first thing, if he's not looking, just whip, boom. Why? It's there for the taking. And I know maybe a lot of people don't like the dirtiness of it all, but.
Maybe that's why Arne Slot is having the Liverpool players punch in.
Football's a little bit nasty.
Boom. They're the first. France is the first team in Euro's history to have more than 50 shots, non-penalty shots, without a goal.
Wow.
That's a staggering
concern.
Stat.
Can I poke a hole for that stat? It was a good one.